Welcome to the greatest hockey show in the world. Good week, everybody. Hey, I don't know if you noticed this, but that was a very subdued intro, and it's because I'm sitting in this fancy hotel lobby in Chicago, and I don't know, I didn't want to really call that much attention to myself.
That's the first.
Yeah, it's this classy people, and I don't want to get kicked out. There's a lot of the DNC is coming here in like a week or something, and
Eh,
there's a lot of official people walking around this place, and you know what? I don't want to be dragged out of my own country and kicked into Canada and not allowed to come back.
I don't know. Maybe I would do that though. Do you ever play odds? The game odds?
No, I don't know what that is.
Actually?
I Yeah,
Okay.
no.
So it's kind of like truth or dare, but it's all just dares. But the game of odds is always happening. Like you can't say, "Oh, I'm not playing odds." So I have a point with this.
Okay.
But so I would say odds you just find someone random in that hotel lobby to redo the intro to the show and you'd be like, "Ooh, I really don't wanna do that," and you choose, like, a really big number. If you're like, "Okay, I don't know, that's not so bad," you'd be like, "Okay, 20, between 1 and 20," and then I'd count down 3, 2, 1, and we both say a number between the set that you chose. If it's the same, you have to do it. If it's not, you're free to go. So I say,
Okay.
odds you go find someone in the lobby and make them redo that terrible ASMR intro we just sat through.
And basically, I picked the number.
You pick the number of like how frisky are you feeling? Are you willing to take a little
Oh,
risk? Frisky risky?
I just said I'm not getting kicked out. I don't want to get kicked out of this country
Well,
because
you're
the
not.
DNC is
You're
here.
finding someone else to say it.
Well, no, I know that, but what if I go up to somebody and they take it the wrong
And
way,
they're like,
and
"Sir, that's Kamala Harris. You
and
can't talk to her."
well, I would know who that is, and it's not going to be Kamala Harris because I did a tour boat, like a little sightseeing tour. Here I did like a
The
speedboat tour
architecture?
and went through the architecture tour,
Oh, we have
and
to get to that. That's separate.
well, I'm just telling you, they said that politicians only stay at the Sheraton. It's the safest hotel in the city because it has its own helipad on the top.
Oh,
So she wouldn't be staying where I'm staying.
not anymore.
So I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't run into. Is it
Tommy?
Kamala Harris?
It's like comma,
Kamala.
like the punctuation mark. Kamala.
Kamala. Okay. Well.
Okay, so anyway, you'll find a
Okay.
random person to
Okay.
come and do that intro.
So
Odds.
odds. So I would say 100.
If you were feeling like, "I really don't wanna do that," you would say 100.
Okay, and I really don't want to do that right now.
Okay, so you can
So I would
choose
say
100,
100.
that's fine.
Okay, and
Okay, and then
then
I'm gonna count down 3, 2, 1, and we both say a number. If
okay,
it's the same number, you have to do it. If it's not, you're off the hook. Okay.
okay. Hey, just out of curiosity, what's your favorite number? Mhm.
48. It's actually 22.
Okay. Hey, that's the number that's important to me too,
No way!
because I was born on 2/22/82, so I like the number twos.
Oh my gosh, and I'm all the
Yeah.
1s and 2s and 9s with my birthday, so I'm kind of a witch in that way too. This is destiny.
Ones and twos and nines, like that's
Everything about the day I was born, my weight, my length, the time of day is all a 1, a 2, or a 9. This is messed.
okay. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, anyway, we're getting to you
So
going to the lobby between 1 and
what do you?
100.
Okay.
I'm gonna count down, I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then we both say a number at the same time, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, 69.
56.
Dang.
Ooh.
Dang, I was going for
Ooh.
the obvious one.
Yeah, I knew you were. That's why I asked your favorite number, and the
Alright.
fact that you didn't say 69 means you're a liar. But anyway.
Favorite
But
number is
anyway,
different than favorite.
yeah, listen,
Anyway.
I'm not editing
Anyway.
stuff. I told you. I edited last week.
That's a joke.
I edited last week. I'm not editing this week. I don't edit normally. So
I toe the line.
um, well, sometimes you gotta cross it too. So I am sitting in Chicago for the Chicago Draft Experience this weekend,
Woo!
and I'm super. This is probably one of Cooper's like favorite cities ever.
Rightfully
He
so.
he loves Chicago. He loves the Navy Pier. He loves the Children's Museum. He loves the speedboat rides. He likes this hotel, but he was really a big fan of the DoubleTree, and we stayed there because he got his own room and it had a big, like a 70-inch TV that was right by the bed, so he loved that. So
Whoa.
he's not as happy this year as he was a couple years ago, uh, but I also got COVID uh, at that hotel, so he's like, it's a good trade off, Dad. So
Okay, fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
as you now know, but the other people don't know, Chicago is like my homeland, one of them. I lived there. I went to school there. I lived there after for multiple years. So I already told you, I expressed my disappointment that your Chicago dog was from the Navy Pier, and that is like the worst thing you could have done.
I was just there, and I was like, oh, there's a dog place, because last year I was just like, oh, I'll just get this Potbelly sandwich place, which is good. I'm not gonna
No,
shit
that's
on
also
Potbelly.
trash.
I do love Potbelly sandwiches. But I was just walking around. I was like, oh, okay, well, let's try the Chicago dog. And I rated it accordingly, a 2.5 out of 10. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But I also got shit on because I don't eat the Chicago dog with all the Chicago dog toppings, because I am against tomatoes, against them.
Okay.
That's actually the forbidden fruit in the Bible. I don't know if you know that. I made
Okay.
that up myself. But and
You had me fooled.
yeah, I also don't like the peppers. I don't like peppers in general, so I
Those little
just get it without the tomato
pepperoncinis.
peppers. Yeah, so I mean, I enjoy a
So
Chicago
it was
dog without those.
onions and a hot dog.
Onion salt, hot dog, pickle,
A
celery
relish.
salt. I'm sorry, celery salt and relish. Yeah, and mustard. So that's Chicago
No
dog.
ketchup because that's against the law.
That's what everyone keeps saying, but it's like when I went to
I would put
Buffalo and
ketchup on
they
it.
told me I couldn't do ranch. Listen, I'm gonna eat what I like. So fuck
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah.
fuck you. If you're Chicagoan and you're like, oh, you can't eat ketchup, fuck you.
That's
I like
right.
ketchup.
Yeah. Now you're about to get expat back to Canada. Okay, the real question, the other deciding one, nuts on Clark or Garrett's popcorn?
Garrett's popcorn.
Thank you. We can
But I
continue
do
this podcast now.
I do like nuts on Clark, but I'm a huge fan of Garrett's popcorn, the cheese, and then also the mix, the Chicago medley or whatever they call it.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Pinnacle. Plus, when you walk by and they're like pumping the air out of that popcorn smell down the street, literally it's like a vent outside the building. It's like blowing popcorn smell. So then
hmm
you're like
hmm
wafting like Pepe Le Pew, like in the cartoon, and like following
it's
the scent
almost
the whole way.
it's almost like going to like whatever the ice cream stores, like Cold Stone Creamery, and they have those waffle cone smells. You're just like, fuck, I gotta get one.
Yeah.
Listen, Preggers Jillian is probably gonna freak out here in a few minutes. We can keep talking about this
I'm
stuff.
like, mm.
Hey, I do have to ask you a question.
Okay.
Since we're talking about Chicago, I got to do a bench burger in Chicago.
Oh.
And so, obviously, outside of Chicago dog, what cheeseburgers?
Okay. Have you been to Au Cheval yet?
Yes,
Au
I've been
Cheval.
there before. I'm not waiting for 3 hours to get a burger, but maybe they'll let me take it to go.
But here's the trick that you do. You have to go in on a weekday during like the lunchtime. Like
It's gonna be
a
Saturday. I'm gonna have to take it to go and do it because
bad
I gotta
move.
eat it on a bit. I gotta eat it on the bench when I'm playing hockey. Bench burgers. That's the whole point.
There's a small cheval too. Au Cheval and small cheval. You can get
I
that
thought it
too.
was all Cheval.
Well, it's
Whatever.
a sister restaurant. It's small cheval.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get one to go. I'm gonna see if I can do it. But I'm
You for sure
also,
can.
what if I said this to you? Cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. No Coke, Pepsi. Would you know what I'm talking about? Oh,
No,
what kind of Chicago person are you?
I
Cheeseburger,
wasn't
cheeseburger,
born
cheeseburger,
there.
cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. No fries, chips, no Coke, Pepsi. It was a famous Saturday Night Live skit about the Billy Goat Tavern, and it's very close to the
Oh,
rink. So,
so
so
that says more about me not watching SNL than me not knowing Chicago, I would say. Me
well,
having
I
better
guess
taste in TV.
I mean, it was like James Belushi, like ultimate Chicago guy. Like he was the one
Okay.
that did it. So he made it, and that's what If you go on like on the Billy Goat Tavern thing, they talk about the skit.
Mm,
So I have to get one of those, and I have to go on the bench burger and say cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. No Coke, Pepsi.
okay. And you're
So
doing the deep dish pizza too? You should do that
I
instead
hate
of a
I
burger.
hate I hate deep dish pizza.
Well, it
100%.
hates you with that
Giordano's
attitude.
Giordano's is trash. That's I'm sorry. That's just it is. Like Giordano's is trash pizza. Not only because I don't like deep dish pizza, it just doesn't taste good. Okay, I mean,
Crust could use
I'm
some
sorry.
salt.
Well, the crust can get thrown right in the trash. To be honest with you, but hey, listen, I'm not here to shit on people's pizza. I don't
Sounds like
even
you
think
are.
New York pizza is the best pizza in the world. But
I mean, we know that I love Domino's, so I'm not one to talk, but I'm just gonna pretend like that didn't hurt my feelings, I guess.
well, you're not crying, so but those hormones might.
You got to
Raise
save
up.
those
I don't know.
tears for your pillow. Rub
Exactly.
some dirt in it.
But anyway, before we get
Anyway,
too far off tangents
yeah.
here, tell the people where they can find us.
Oh, yeah. Well, besides right here where you're listening, because you found us. Congrats. Good job.
Surprise.
Yeah. So every social media, we are at the BLPA. Sometimes I say the, so the BLPA, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Shout out to the guy who hates when I say that. X, formerly known as Twitter, OnlyFans, if you're lucky, Patreon, Twitch, and Nikki Kamish's favorite, Pinterest.
Oh yeah, let's go. Maybe we'll
Good
get
old
on
painters.
WeChat one day. Is anyone from China here can invite us to WeChat? We can get a little WeChat action going.
Oh,
That'd be nice. You know,
did I
I'm
even
gonna have
say?
to
Oh,
go.
yeah, Twitch is on there too. We should have done that.
I'm gonna have to go to. I'm gonna have to go to China here. No, I don't know soon. They have like this
China.
big like. They have like China.
I feel
Oh,
like you
hey,
have to
listen.
say it like Trump.
DNC is here. Don't do it. Don't get
No,
me
it's
in
called
trouble.
being bipartisan because I already talked about Kamala, and now I have to say one thing about Trump. So then you have to
Oh,
go both
gotcha.
ways.
Okay, you go both ways. That's good to know. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go to China just with the merchandise stuff. There's a lot of stuff I want to get merchandise wise, and Alibaba is just not cutting it anymore. So I've been doing some research, and there's a huge fair called the Canton Fair. They do it two times a year. It's like 47 football fields worth of manufacturers, and so I'm gonna go
Wow.
there and fuck some shit up in China. I'm gonna need WeChat.
They already heard you coming. Wow.
I wonder if like Chinese food in China is like Chinese food in America. I would venture to say probably not.
Would you think that it's better in China or
I
worse?
would I would think it's better in here.
Is that just because it's what you know?
I mean, I think that, and I think also Americans, USA in general, and maybe even Canada, most part, bastardize a lot of things and make it their own.
Mm.
Like pizza, like I love pizza. I'm a huge pizza guy, but the pizza here is way better than pizza in Italy. I'm not a big fan of the Italian pizza.
Hot
Same
take,
with
hot
like
take, hot take.
same with like burritos. Like there's a way big difference
Mm.
between Tex-Mex and real Mexican food, right? So
Yeah,
I think we bastardize things, which is fine. I'm not shitting
we
on
make it our
America for
own.
bastardizing. I like making things my own too. So I just wonder if, like what, like I'm not gonna go get General's chicken in, or ginger beef.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to get ginger beef in China.
Oh, orange
You know why?
chicken.
Because ginger beef was invented in Calgary, oddly enough.
What?
So yeah,
Why do you know so many fun food facts?
I like to eat food. Man.
That's the triple F with Nikki Kamish, the fun food
Yeah,
fact hour.
I
Okay,
got.
so
Oh,
odds you go to China and ask where the nearest Panda Express is.
do I have to do it in Chinese?
Yeah.
uh, I would do that. So
Okay, next tournament's gonna be in China.
10, 10.
Okay. 10. Wait, are you saying 10 because you have something to say about Puck 10?
Oh, I do. Oh, I do have some good news about Puck 10. Yeah, Puck 10 just got its designation for a 501c3 charity. Whoop,
Woo!
whoop, which means that we'll be able to start doing some badass stuff. And when people donate, when we find sponsors, they'll be able to get tax write-offs. And there's probably other stuff that goes along with it, but this is basically what you need to be an official charity. So we can
Oh,
actually say
sweet.
that we are a charity and we're raising money for a certain cause, instead of like some other places that are just like, oh, we're doing this event for a charity and a portion of the proceeds go, and which whatever, it doesn't bother me. Like, I think people need to get paid for their work no matter what they do, and I'm not saying that
Yeah.
501c3 charities don't pay people that work for them, because there's plenty of charities that do. I just ran across a lot of, especially in our line of business, like tournaments that are, oh, we're charity tournaments, but really they're not a charity. They're just donating some money to
Mm.
the charity and then collect, which it is what it is, right? But that's just a nickism with stuff that bothers me. But yeah,
I,
I
and
I got a
speaking
lot
of
of shit.
things that bother
I
you,
got I got a lot of rants to go on
I
today.
feel
I don't.
like you've been a little complainy. But I
Well,
think
I
you
don't
should
know if
let it
it's.
I think you should get it off your chest. It looks
Well,
heavy. You're carrying a big
one.
load.
One, I'm just stressed, and when I get stressed, I start finding other things to nitpick. So what's
What
my what's my what is it, mental health here? Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably a 4, because I'm just stressed to the max right now. Like, we're in this stretch of like tournaments and like uh oh, I don't want to feel like I'm complaining. I just, like, tournaments aren't feeling like filling up like they usually do, and that's a stressor, right? Because this is how I make a living and provide for my family, and so that's a little thing, and then just there's other things kind of going on within the business that are making it hard, and not necessarily bad things, just things that kind of uh, I don't want to say big risk, big reward, but stuff that where you have to put something at risk or you can't advance, and putting that at risk leaves you open to other things on the other end, and that's just a part of business. If you want to grow and do cool things, and so like I'm very risk adverse to
Mm.
things, but I'm also one of those guys that is a big vision guy, and it's like, well, I want to do this, but if I to do it, I have to go down that risk. So the insides of my body are fighting each other right now.
Which
So
side is winning right now?
uh, the part that says just uh, easy come, easy go for broke, and big things will
Mhm.
happen. That's the part.
Mhm.
That part does always win, but that doesn't mean the other part isn't inside of me battling and saying don't,
Loud.
which leads me. Yeah. So it's like a lot of sleep, and it's also hard. Like I'm here with my family, and I also have a lot of work to do, and so I try to worry about the stuff when I'm not with them. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. But so like I sleep bad because like I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll start thinking about it. My brain won't go off, and so that's been pretty tough. But mental health wise, for me right now, not
That's
horrible,
goals.
but I'm not in a great spot right now. But nice to be able to lay that out for people, I think.
I feel like 4 is pretty bad, but not, like, dire. But that's a tough spot. 4 is a
Yeah,
stressful space.
yeah, it's a very stressful time, and it's not good or bad. I mean, life is full of stress and things that you have to deal with as an adult. But I guess, like I said, I want people to be able to talk about their mental health and the stuff that stresses them out. And it feels good to just kind of lay it out and be like, this is what's bothering me. So if anyone tries to like approach me and I'm accidentally short with them, which I don't ever mean to be, I got a lot of things on the dome right now. I mean,
I feel that.
USA almost lost to Serbia today in basketball. I mean, you know,
What is our little Serbia competitors? Because that was for volleyball too. Women's
yeah.
volleyball, that was a tough one.
So I think they play France for the gold medal, and I think that
Vol
people were basically saying either Serbia or USA would win the gold. They just have to get past each other. So, but nonetheless, how is your
But
mental health?
nonetheless, well, also do you know the maybe story? Have you heard that? The Chinese farmer story about maybe?
No.
And how it's like I'm not gonna say the whole thing because it just goes on too long, but it's this whole thing about how nothing's really good or bad, it just is, or something bad happens, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's where, oh, there's a Chinese farmer and his horse ran away, and then all the neighbors came back and they're like, "Oh my god, we're so sorry that your horse ran away. That is so unfortunate." And he's like, "Maybe." And then the next day, the horse comes back and he has 7 more horses with him. He's like, "Let's go, guys." And he comes back, and then the neighbors are like, "Oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? Now you have 8 horses." And the farmer's like, "Maybe." And it just goes back and forth of like what you
Hmm.
think is so bad, and then it turns really good, and then you think it's good and it turns bad. And it's like, maybe. So when everyone says like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay," I just say, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely let the dice fly, or because
Fall as
every
they may.
yeah, alia jacta est, and
Yeah.
I think it's already like it's gonna work out how it's gonna work out, and so
Yeah.
it's hard to say this when I just talk about how stressed I am, but talk about like I try to not worry about things I can't control, because worrying about things I
Teach
can't
me.
control, no, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, a lot of it is like, I mean, look at like what I'm going through. Like just yesterday, like we're trying to find some players for Chicago, and someone goes online and oh, we're looking for players, and someone just rips me to shreds, or the company to shreds, and it's like it's nothing that I can control what they say. Like I reach
Yeah.
out to them and say, hey, I don't understand why you have that opinion. Like every interaction you and I have had has been positive. I don't understand this. Can you explain to me? And they just ignore it. So I don't know what they've heard or what they've gone through, and that kind of sucks. And so for me, it's like
Yeah.
I worry about that stuff, but I also know like, hey, I did everything I could to try to find out what the situation was and rectify it, and they weren't willing to take part in that. So why let that? bother me because it's going to happen no matter what,
Yeah.
So,
And everyone's battling their own battles that you don't know about. Da 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 da.
And everyone
Like,
loves drama anyway. I don't know if you know this. Like our beer league dramas have just been like that's all people talk about. And like I'll be at we were at Oklahoma City, and people are like, oh my god, that beer league drama, that Billy Funday guy, and
yeah.
they're like, is that real? And I'm like, hey, listen, the truth is stranger than fiction. Like it was sent to me.
Yes.
I don't know if it's real, but if it isn't real, someone did
Yeah.
an excellent bit of writing to do that. And so
Yeah.
whatever.
Promote
Yeah.
that. I know my mom called me to talk about it too. And then she's like, "Well, I don't
Oh,
have a beer league drama, but I have a workplace drama. Can you help me with that?" So I'm
perfect.
like,
Let's
"We're
put
gonna
it
have to
on there.
expand."
I mean, beer league. We beer leaguers have jobs too, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
let's
number one unspoken rule. We all gotta go to work tomorrow. That's what we
yeah. So
learned.
let's beer league drama. So I guess when we left, we were talking about my rants. I do have a couple
Oh, yeah.
rants that just I don't know which one to start with. Which one should I start with? I have two.
I think you should start with wait, hold on, I have to remember. Oh, do the less funny one first. The more menial one, save second.
Okay, so the first one you want to talk about tipping and how I'm so pissed
Wait, I
off
thought
about
that was the
tipping.
menial one.
You said so do the other one first. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm scrolling through Facebook the other day and I come across someone that posted a picture and it was a championship photo. Which hey, congratulations for winning a championship. I'm happy for you. But then the comment was the 10th one of these. It never feels less good or something to that effect. And I was just like 10 beer league. Like I have literally how much beer league hockey I play. I've never won a league championship in beer league. I've won tournaments obviously, but never won an actual league championship. And I'm like 10 fucking championships. What the fuck? And so then I go and ask some friends that play hockey in there, and basically they're like, they stay in the same division. They just win it all the time. And listen, this could be bad intel that I'm getting from my friends, but I don't usually get bad intel. All right. And so
Mhm.
then that just pissed me off. Like these motherfuckers. And listen, I don't even play where they play, so I don't know why it's pissed me off. But just everything is like kind of building. So I was just like, fuck these guys for 10 championships.
Yeah.
We need to just like we try to normalize having seltzers instead of beers for beer league. By the way,
Mm.
that's what we do. I want to normalize when you win a division, you should move up automatically. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
I don't give
surprised there isn't that rule.
I don't give a shit if it's you beat a team by one or you snuck into the playoffs. If you won, you move up, you challenge yourself, and guess what? If you get blown out, if you take last place, you move down. And you know what? If you end up being in the middle of the pack in the upper division, well, then guess what? You're in the right division. And you know why I think that? Because what a lot of beer leaguers fail to understand about sports and hockey, maybe they don't fail to understand, they just want to casually ignore the fact that in every division there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser and there's everyone in the middle. So if you're in the middle of the division, you're in the right division. You're in the right division because you're
Yeah.
in the mid level. You could win, you could lose, but I just 10 championships and maybe they play 3 seasons a year. I don't know, but it's just that's just it just and then I was like, and who the fuck would brag about that? Oh, here's my
I
10th
mean, I
beer league
would.
championship. I don't know. I don't know. And listen,
Oh.
I know the people that posted it. Obviously, I'm friends with them on Facebook, so that's why it showed up on my feed. So I'm not taking shots at you. That's not. But I do feel that you as this is Nick, a friendly chat from Nick.
Mhm.
You as an adult and a human being should challenge yourself. It's not just for kids challenging
True.
yourself. You should challenge yourself as an adult. And if you're cleaning up 10 championships, basically means you're cleaning up. Just jump up one, see what happens. See what happens. And to the league
Yeah.
that's letting it happen, oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's a league problem more than anything. That is like rules for tournaments around here for volleyball where if you win first place twice, you automatically have to play at the next higher
Well,
division.
I started something in our Austin tournament, and I just took all the teams that won last year and I moved them up. And even the one that won, like the one from the top, they were in the championship game. They played each other 2-1 both games. So I moved both of them. And guess what? One of them was in the championship in the division above, and one of them was just outside the championship. And so
Nice.
I, and then if they lost, like if they got blown out in the division, I moved them down. So last place in the division, moved down. I just think that we should normalize that. And I know that there's some leagues that can't. I get it. There's some leagues that we only play on certain nights. Okay, I'm not talking about that. If it's like, oh well, I can't play on Sunday nights, and if my team moved up,
Yeah,
I'd have to play on Sunday nights.
obviously.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're playing in the same league, like in Oklahoma City, we had Division
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, and 4, and we only played on Sunday nights. Okay. Same way if you're in the top division. Obviously, you can't move up. You're in the top division. So obviously, I'm not
Mhm.
talking to you. So don't message me and be like, "Oh, fuck you, Nick. I can't move up." Okay, cool. If
Or
you can't move
do.
up, you can't move up. Or do. Or you just find somewhere else with better hockey.
Yeah.
That's it. That's rant number one.
Yeah. Do you
You
feel
gotta
a little bit
show
better?
them. I feel better. Oh, they're opening up. Look, they're opening up my little lobby space here. Oh my gosh, look at this. And then look, they got
Oh.
it. Wait.
Whoa. Oh, yeah,
Whoa.
look at you and all your friends hanging out.
How fancy.
There's no
Um,
one there.
Kamala? No, she's not there.
Is that you?
She's not there.
Woke,
Okay,
we have to stay woke. Did you see that?
so no, I did not see that. But
Okay.
here's the deal. I also because I listen. I don't like politics. I don't like politics
Agree.
for the reason I'm not gonna. Maybe this is my third round. I don't know. I just don't feel like politicians care about the people. I don't feel like
Mhm.
anything. I don't feel like anything has to do with us. I feel like it's just them wanting to beat each other, and that's about it. And everything for the rich, and that's been the story of the history of the world. So,
Yeah, but I don't like any politics. I don't even like office politics, sports politics.
well,
Like,
I
I
mean,
don't like any of those little things either.
okay. I mean, I like that kind because it leads to drama. And listen, I love drama when it has nothing to
Okay,
do
I'll
with
eat it up if it's someone else's story, but I don't wanna be a part of it.
exactly. But for me, it's always like I look at all the candidates and I'm like, there's no good candidates because if anyone runs, everyone from the other side just trashes the shit out of them. So who would
Yeah.
want to do that? Who would even want to put themselves in that position? So I just kind of like, it's. And then another thing I hate is like, here's a bill, here's something that I care about, and I want to vote for it.
Mhm.
But they throw something in there to where if I vote for it, I'm also voting against, saying I like to kick babies, which
Who
I do
joined
not like to kick
bills?
babies. Um,
Just 5-year-olds.
oh, hold on, I've lost
Just
a bud. I've
you've
lost a bud.
lost a
Hold on,
potty.
keep talking
You just
about
like
something. I'm
you
down
just
here.
like to fight 5-year-olds.
I do like to fight 5-year-olds. Can you hear me while I'm talking
Yeah, sure
under
can.
here? Oh my god, I cannot. How do you lose one earbud on the ground? It's so dark, I can't
I
find it.
wish we had a live can you actually tilt your camera down so we can watch you crawling around down there?
Found it.
That's a good angle.
Found it. Here I am.
Good.
Here's the problem with these AirPods. I have little ear holes. And
Don't they have different size little things to stick on there?
I don't have them obviously. I usually use my bows over the ear. But anyway,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
My second rant is about tipping, and here's
Uh-huh.
why I believe. How do I say this without pissing off service industry people? I believe you should
I think you should
get paid
start
a
it.
fair wage. I
Okay.
think you should get paid a fair wage. And if you're mad because you don't get tips, you can go find another job. And I'm not saying it's bad.
Okay.
I think serving people is a noble job, but I think depending on tips and expecting tips sucks, right? And
Okay.
but now every place that you go to wants you to tip them,
They're gonna
and it
spin that
makes
iPad around. They're gonna
it
look you in
it,
the eye.
it pisses me off. And it also hurts the people that are like waitresses because it pisses me off against even tipping them because I'm so pissed off. And
Mhm.
listen, what really pissed me off is I was looking through and I was looking at people's GoFundMe's, and there are a lot of ridiculous GoFundMe's, but this one was actually a legitimate one. And I went to donate, and it was I couldn't even turn off the tip for GoFundMe. It was making me do a 22% tip or something like that. And I was like, fuck it. I'm not even going to donate because of this. And it pissed me off so much. I'm like,
There's no
who the
way.
fuck? Yeah, I was like, who the fuck? Yeah, why would I tip GoFundMe? I don't, I'm not, I want that
I
money to
think
go
they're
to
doing
this good thing.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking a percentage of I think, or maybe that, I don't know.
No, they
But then I
totally
started thinking,
are.
about all the places that require me to tip. It's like I go into fucking McDonald's and I order a quarter pounder with cheese. And like, would you like to tip? And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, I'm literally standing here ordering, and all you did was turn around and give me a burger. Like, what is that worth?
Yes.
I,
I don't even care
you
what you
know,
did behind that car. The worst one for me is I went to a froyo place. So you serve your own froyo, and then you put all your own toppings, you put on the scale, and then they tip. And I'm like, shouldn't you be tipping me? I just did your whole job. I did it
Exactly.
all.
And and that also leads into like companies that want me to round up to the nearest dollar so they can
Oh,
donate it
never
to
do that.
charity.
It's a scam.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a scam. I'm sure they give it, but
It's
I'm sure
just
they
so
get a
they
tax
can
write
have a
off. Right?
tax write-off.
Yeah.
Do your own donation on the side. You don't need to
It's a
give
Puck
them
10 project,
16
by the way.
cents.
And so,
Yeah.
it's a Puck 10 project. And so I just got to thinking, like, how should we tip? Like, what should be the tips? Like when you go to a restaurant, Jillian, or maybe maybe you make your husband do all this stuff. How much do you tip?
Well, if I'm getting served, if there's a good server, they get a tip.
How much?
Oh, I'm a 20% and more person. I'm the
But
person you
okay,
want at the restaurant.
listen. Oh, I will tip, but here's my problem: is like I like Charleston's. That's a restaurant that I
Okay.
thoroughly enjoy. And usually they're pretty good about giving you like refills, but sometimes you go and you don't get a refill at all, and I'm thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come and it's a meal with like 6 people and it's $120 or whatever, and I'm like, so I'm going to give these people $30, and they didn't even do any. Like they literally just brought my food out, and so I struggle with it. And like I said, I get it. You're in a service, you're probably getting paid $2.15 an hour,
Well,
and
they're
so
getting
you
more than
need
that
those.
now.
Well, you need the tip to survive. I didn't choose for you to go into that job. It's just the same with goalies and not wanting to pay because their equipment's so expensive.
We need to start
I did not.
tipping goalies.
I did not choose. I did not choose for you to go play goalie. You knew the equipment was that expensive when you went in, right? As a server, you knew what you were going to get paid, and if you want a tip, provide exceptional service, and I will tip exceptionally well.
Yeah. So if they give exceptional service, of course, you're going to tip. I just can't do it. It's when everyone's asking these days. It's just like they're seeing what they can get away with. I really think
Exactly,
that's what it is.
and here's it's just like I always thought when I was flying on airlines, and they'd give you like free Wi-Fi, or they'd give you
Yeah.
free, and then you want to have that Wi-Fi or those movies, and then all of a sudden they're going to hit you with a $15 to connect. And you're like, well, I'm just so used to it, I might as well pay it, and so
Yeah.
hey, first hit's free. I mean, that's drug sales 101. Not that I know
Yeah.
anything about
So
selling
that being
drugs.
said, my Venmo is Jillian Coconut. Please feel free to tip me for my services today.
Speaking of which, I made this rant on the BLPA, and I ended it with, and if you'd like to tip me, you can Venmo the BLPA just as a jest. And people actually tipped me. And one guy
How
told
many
me,
people tipped you?
I think there was like 12 or 13 people that tipped me
Dang!
$5, and I
This
was
was
like,
all an
"Oh my
act.
god!" And one guy was like, "You're hilarious." And then now we're going to interview him. It's Adam Gold that we're reaching out, and
Yes.
he actually created the rule for the professional women's league about. Which I'm a huge proponent of because it would have fucked the Oilers a long time ago, is that they take a portion, like how many points you get after you're eliminated from the playoffs to decide the draft order. So it's not just the worst teams gets the best odds. It's if you actually compete through the whole season, even after you're out of the playoffs, you have a better odds of getting that number one overall pick. So I'm a huge proponent of that. I know that you two have been conversing about when he can get on. So hopefully here pretty soon.
Yeah, he's totally game. He said he'll do it anytime to talk about some hockey. So we're working on it. He's going to be on here soon.
Awesome. And so just to finish up the tipping thing,
Mm-hmm.
I saw some rules in the BLPA group about it, and I think I'm going to adopt it. Is if I have to stand up to order, I'm not tipping.
Yes, I love that one. I saw that comment too. The people, we always go to the people. They're smart.
But here's the deal, and I just realized this on BLPA. Like when you order stuff off our store, we have some app on there that helps with like shopping cart recovery or whatever. Like if you put in
Yeah.
your cart and leave, they also, I guess, ask if do you want to tip BLPA?
What?
And I'm like, how do I turn it off? How do I turn it off? And so like, I don't even realize. I went back through, and there have been people that have tipped through that. And I just want you to know, I appreciate the tip. I appreciate that you would be willing to do that. But I didn't even know that was a setting on there to tip, and I feel bad. I'm trying to turn it off. But if you
Now
do
you
want
could
to tip
keep
me,
it on. It'd be ironic.
yeah. Now, if you want to tip me, just Venmo is the best way to do that. So.
Yeah, just the tip. That's what we'll call this bit.
Just the tip. All right, what's
But
next?
well, I wanted to keep talking about money and keep talking about GoFundMe.
I love
Um,
money.
because I know that there's something that you've brought up to me, and you were so bold to share, and I suggested a GoFundMe race. So
Oh
you
boy.
wanted to start a GoFundMe for what now?
Well, okay. First off, I did not want to start a GoFundMe. I
Okay.
was just when I was looking through GoFundMe's, like there's so much ridiculous
Yeah.
GoFundMe stuff,
So it's all
and
a joke. It's not. This is not hating on people
I
who
said, listen,
actually need
here's the
it.
deal. I'm going bald, as you can see. I'm going bald
You
here,
still have
and
fuzz.
yeah, I know, but I would like a big bushy hair.
Toupee.
Like it's as you get old, hair just decides to stop growing here where you want it to grow, and it grows everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I would like
Does
to grow it
Tannis
back
wax your
on.
back
No,
or
to
shave?
be honest with you, I don't know if I'm sharing too much. I haven't done it in a while, but I
Let's do it.
got laser hair
You're a
treatment on my
laser
back.
guy?
It
Wait,
hurts.
that's yeah.
I've had it waxed before. It
It
fucking
is
hurts.
pain, baby.
Uh, then I started shaving it, but then it was itchy and like fuzzy, and so I was like,
Yeah.
there. The lady was like, "Hey, we can just do like the laser," and I did, and it hurts and
Yeah, sure
it's
does.
painful,
Yeah.
but it was great. Like I haven't done it, so I'm starting to get some fuzz. So I haven't done it in like 6 months, and it's starting to grow back.
Mhm.
But I do like that. But I wouldn't let her. She's like, "Oh, let me do your chest. I'll show you one on your chest." And I did it once. I'm like, "Nah, that hurts too bad. No
Could
thanks.
they take your
I'll
chest
shave that."
and back hair and put it on your head?
Well, that's what I mean. That's the thing is like I like when I go in the shower after my wife, she's got like just hair on the shower wall, and
And
I'm
you're
like,
like,
how the
"Maybe
yeah
someday."
yeah, and I'm like
You, like, put it on your head.
I'm like, how the hell do you have this much hair? Here I am struggling, and yours is just willy nilly following out. You're just like, ugh. And
Yeah.
so I just said, well, listen, if everyone's going to do this weird ass GoFundmes, I just start one to see if I can get a hair transplant. I get like 10 grand and go over to Turkey and just do it up. And then I'll grow like these
Yeah.
big, long, luscious locks. And hopefully it'd be like Yarmer Yager and it would like flow out underneath my helmet.
Yes.
And if you want to see that, GoFundMe. I mean, I
We'll
haven't
live
started one.
stream it.
I'll live stream everything. I'll let people see it because what they do is they like take all the like the healthy ones right here, and then
Yeah.
they insert them back into your head. And apparently,
Farmville
Turkey is the
style.
place. Yeah, Turkey is the place to do it.
Who would have thunk?
I don't know. I think they have like these packages where they put you up in like 5-star hotels. You get a flight. They get you over there, and they put in like I'm like, yeah, I'm in. But here's the problem: is like it's so like it's not guaranteed, and it is
Okay.
painful, and I'm risk adverse. I'll take some pain to
Mhm.
get what I want, but it's
Yeah.
hard for me to take pain when I don't know if I'm going to achieve the results that I want. It's like I don't like gambling,
Yeah.
but if I was guaranteed to win, I would do it all the time.
What percent sureness do you need to do the procedure?
Well, that's why if it wasn't my money, I would just do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But
So
if
listen
I
up,
had to like
people.
if I had to come out with my own 10,000, it's not, and okay, 10,000 a lot of money, but I
Yeah.
would also be like, 10,000 bucks, but there's only a 60% chance I have long, luscious, flowing locks. Then you're starting to think like,
What if it was a
ugh.
100% chance, but you're 10,000?
I would do that
100%
100%.
chance you do 10
I,
grand. Okay. What if
I literally,
if it's 60% with other people's money, you're still in?
I'm still in, yeah. Well, because other people's money, I've
30%.
got nothing to lose. With
Yeah,
other people's money,
pain.
I've got nothing to lose at that. I
True.
mean, they get the pain. I mean,
Okay.
if you start getting the single digits and I got to do pain and I'm blowing other people's money, I don't know if you know this, Jillian. I
You gotta go to
love blowing
Turkey.
other people's money.
Yeah.
I
You
love
love blowing a
like
lot of things.
I don't know. Whoa.
Pause.
I don't know if you heard any of the gambling stunts that I've pulled off, but
Oh,
one year we did a Vegas tournament and I asked everyone. I said, "Here's the deal. There's $100 a spin uh, slot machine. I'm going to collect $100 from each person, and then we'll collect all that. I'll take it to that slot
oh
machine."
yeah.
So I did it. I collected $1,600, and 100 of it was mine. I had skin in the game, and
Yeah.
I pulled that lever 16 times on live stream. Didn't win one time. So
Ooh,
so
you're
then I
not a
said,
good
okay,
wheel picker.
no. I said, okay. So here's the next one. I'm gonna take $100. We'll collect it, and then we're gonna go to the roulette wheel, and we're gonna choose to put it on red or black.
Uh-huh.
We'll choose as a group. Okay. And then if it wins, we'll take that half, put it in the pocket, we'll play with house money, and we'll let it ride 4 times, 3 or 4 times, right?
Yeah.
We did that, and I wanted to do red. A lot of people want to do red, but then JP,
Oh, yeah.
who was an African American male, said, put it on black. I'm black," and we did,
Yeah,
and it
you
fucked
can't
us.
disagree with that.
And so we lost $2,200 on that time. So I'm okay with losing other people's
Losing
money
other people's money is okay.
for fun and content. And
Okay.
so if people want to blow $10,000 and they want to see me in pain and they want to see me have some maybe luscious flowing locks of hair, then
Okay.
yeah, I'll go fund me off you or whatever.
I can start one
What
for
was your?
you. Well,
Okay.
see, I think mine would have to be something far less expensive. Something that I would like to have because this ability of mine is fading by the day, and it is the ability to bend over or see any part of my lower body. I have like this increasingly large basketball-sized bump in front of my body
So
that
you want to get a GoFundMe to
I need to go
pull
for.
your
I just
baby out
want a
now?
pedicure. The dogs
Oh,
are barking, baby.
I
It
would
is
literally just
not
buy
looking
you a
good.
pedicure.
I called to Rob from the shower and I was like, I think I want to start selling feet pictures. And he's like, no, that feels weird. And I was like, for who? We don't kink shame.
Listen,
But if I could just go and get a pedicure and I can say deluxe scrub, because you walk in, you never know how much you're going to pay for one of those things. They ask me questions and they're like, say the thing, and I'm like, they could have been asking my birthday. They could have. I'm just like, yes, 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 just do it all. So
it's
I
like
want
100 to
the
150 bucks.
deluxe. Yeah, one.
Yeah, but
I
okay,
want
you
that.
would win that. You would get to 150 bucks way before I got to 10,000.
Well, then maybe we just
Because how about if
wait.
I get to
Give
ten
me a baby
thousand?
moon then.
If I get to 10,000, I'll pay out of my pocket for your $150
No, I know what
pedicure.
I
Like,
want. I know what I want. I changed it. I
oh boy,
changed it. This is
here we
perfect.
go.
This is perfect. Have you heard of Bark Air?
No,
This is
this
an
sounds like a plane
airplane.
where you fly with dogs.
You get to take your dog with you because if you didn't know, people ruined the whole emotional support animal thing. So now I can't take my actual emotional support yellow lab cutie head named Posey. I can't take her anywhere. So it costs one way on this plane. They give you meals, which is really nice. They give your dog water and treats, and they get to fly with you on this plane. So you're chartering like this littler plane, less people on it. So it's $6,000 one way. That's what I need.
So
And
you
that's
need
like
12,000.
equivalent.
So you need $12,000.
I guess I have to get back. I can do 10. You know what? I'll foot the extra 2K.
Oh boy, where do you fly to? Where do you fly to?
Minnesota. We have
Uh,
like 2.5 weeks to get this. I'm going home for the fair. Can we live stream me from the fair?
we can live stream. Yeah, live stream because don't they have that really good place that sells like all those chocolate chip cookies and
Oh,
milk
Sweet
at the fair?
Martha's. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that's what I
Plus
want.
cheese curds. Oh, Lord.
Nah,
Don't get me
I'm
going.
not. I'm not good. I mean, cheese curds I have with poutine, so it's not.
No,
Not
way
that great
different.
of
Way different. Deep fried cheese
I
curds.
know.
Come on, baby. Don't talk to me like that.
I don't like cheese. Like I went to Wisconsin, had cheese curds, and they're just like rubbery and gross. But
No,
it's just me.
you didn't have the deep fried kind.
I got them from the gas station.
Yeah, there's so many things wrong with what you're saying. I can't even get into it. Okay, so I need Bark Air. You need Bark Hair.
oh,
Oh,
touche.
zing. Okay, so we got to start up those GoFundMe's.
Yeah, you
Whoever
get on
wins,
that.
wins.
You promote. Oh, okay. So just so you guys know, the word of the week this week is going to be hair. And listen,
Oh,
you guys, I'm giving away stuff to get you guys to listen. I only got like 5 or 7 people doing this contest every week. We got way more people downloading and listening. So get on this thing. Like you don't want to come play hockey in Philadelphia for
yeah.
free, and you get to stay at a hotel for free.
Oh,
I mean,
free?
come on.
Yeah.
Bark hair.
Bark Hair. Okay, we have 2 more important things because one is when we talked to the people on Facebook and we got good responses because we asked a question last week.
Okay.
About getting kicked out of games. And we still have a beer league audio that we have to get to. I
Beer
need to
league
hear
drama.
this. Or what do I say audio? Beer league drama is what I
Yeah.
meant. Okay, so we asked the people of Facebook, our Facebook group, the dumbest reason you or someone you've seen for getting kicked out of a game. Okay.
Okay,
You remember that?
I do remember. What
Okay.
what are some of them that they had?
All right. I keep going like, oh, I want to save that one for last, but then they're all funny. Okay. I was kicked out after a tournament after a disagreement with the ref. I wasn't playing. I was a scorekeeper. I want to know what the disagreement was. Okay. I saw two brothers get into a fight on our bench, and they were both on the same team. Oh, I liked this one. I want to be friends with this girl. Playing music from a little speaker in my sports bra.
Oh boy,
What song was it?
yeah.
Okay. I chirped a known hothead while I was on the bench once. He went after me from the ice. He got rough. I got a misconduct. While in the penalty box, there just so happened to be a road cone inside. So after calling him a pylon multiple times, I threw the cone on my head, which the ref found funny, but he booted me anyway.
I actually go back to the one about the two brothers that got in a fight on the bench.
Yeah.
So my very first ever Canadian hat trick was actually not official because the game got canceled because the other team got kicked out of the game for fighting each other.
Oh
They
no.
started fist fighting each other, and the refs were like, "Game's over. You guys forfeit." And so my stats didn't even count as my first official Canadian hat trick. And
No,
listen,
it counts in our
I,
hearts.
I'm not a good hockey player. I don't score many hat tricks or many goals at all. So this was like a big thing for me, and to
Yeah.
have it thrown and ripped out of my hands
It still
was just
happened.
absolute. Well, yeah, but it didn't count. It's not on the books. Like
It's
it just
not
went
in
down
the
as a one
stat
to
book.
zero win. Yeah, yeah. So
I'm sorry for your loss.
bastards. That's okay. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
And just give him a tip. Give him a tip on his GoFundMe.
The BLPA or GoFundMe. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to create that still. Okay. The other one was potentially racially offensive, so it was funny. But I don't want to read it because I don't want to
Yeah. I
get
don't
in
want to
trouble
offend
during
anybody. But
election season.
yes.
I'm running
Well,
for office.
let's not get canceled.
Yeah.
Sweetheart Schwartz 2028. So
Please loud no. Nobody needs that.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Hopefully,
I
I'll have
want
a
to
full head
hear
of hair by then.
our drama story too.
Okay. I wonder.
Wait,
Oh,
you know what we
uh,
didn't talk about?
what?
Drugs.
What's up, brother? Oh,
Special players.
the drugs. Yeah, the drugs.
Drugs in the
Yeah.
breezers.
So, I'm sure everyone's seen this. So many people have liked and commented on this thing. So, and I have to be careful because I think the rink is now investigating it.
Oh, seriously? It was like that big of a thing?
Yeah, it was. So, I
Wait,
obviously I'm not gonna
is
say
it
names.
illegal?
I would. I mean, everything in Oklahoma is illegal. I think
Oh, it's
at this point,
Oklahoma. Okay, that makes
except
sense.
for shooting guns off randomly, and yeah. But hey,
Nice.
it's not meth. It's not meth. I mean,
Yeah, it
so
could have been worse.
so yeah, so the ref comes to me, and like I'm just walking. There's like this bleachers and the glass, and the ref comes over. And he tosses baggie over to me, and I was like, "What's this?" And everyone's probably seen the picture of me holding it up, saying, "Hey, watch this." I knew what it was. I've never partaken. I don't part.
Partooketh?
I've never done mushrooms. All right, and that's what this was. Magic mushrooms. A little fun. It never hurt no one. You know, all that good stuff.
Mhm.
And so that's what they were. And it just was like, I've seen hockey players smoke weed and play. I've seen them be drunk and play. I've seen them do cocaine and play, but I've never seen the mushrooms and play. And I found out whose they were. And
Would
listen,
you
they
have
weren't
known
doing it
without anyone telling you by looking?
well. Well, not by looking, but I went and I was over on the bench, and like this guy, he was singing songs that nobody else ever heard of. You know, he was on a different planet, and he started in on like, "Ah, I'm not high, I don't feel drunk, and I don't feel high. I just feel damn good." And I was like, "All right, bud, let's go." And he's like, "But you know what would make me feel better?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "A tomato." All right, he's like, "Man, a
Forbidden fruit.
tomato, a tomato would just, oh man," and just on and on about these fucking tomatoes.
Well, did you
And I'm
get him
like,
one or were you
I
rude?
was like, yeah. I was like, but like we're in the middle of a hockey game. You can't. Where are you gonna get tomatoes? Oh, I got tomatoes, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, no, you don't. He's like, yeah, yeah, I got tomatoes in my car. This is my high man's voice, by the way.
Yeah,
I,
good.
hi, I got tomatoes. I got
Matthew
tomatoes in my
McConaughey.
car, and I'm like, what? You got tomato? All right, all right, all right. And
Yeah.
he goes, no, no. It would just be so awesome to have a tomato right now. And I'm like, okay, get one after the game. But sure enough, he had tomatoes in his car. And the next time I
Like
saw him
full
after a game,
size, like
like full size ripe tomatoes, and
he eats them like an apple. I was
he
gonna
eats them
ask
like
how he ate it.
yeah, he ate it just like an apple. And so
Wow.
this guy, he was on a different planet. But you know what? He felt good.
Yeah.
Uh, I, I didn't I didn't notice any like detrimental play of being unsafe. Like sometimes,
Mhm.
like when you see drunk people, they
Yeah.
are obviously falling all over. I did
They're a
not really
hazard.
see that. I really did not see that, but I could also understand how people would be frustrated and scared that someone high as a fucking kite would be on the ice, uh, thinking about tomatoes and getting in their way and hurting them
If
rather than
that's
thinking
what's
about
scary
hockey.
to them, then I want their life if that's the scariest thing they can think of.
Well, but here's the deal, though. Like hockey, like we're not moving as fast as we think we are, but we are moving. And so, like when people are just out there being in places they probably shouldn't be, you can get hurt easily. And that's why, like a lot of times, I've always been like, well, listen, if girls want to be equal, why don't they just play with the guys and we just play co-ed puck? But then after talking to a lot of females that play, it's not necessarily the hockey. It's more how much bigger males are than girls, and them being in different places they're not supposed to, or the females being in
Yeah.
places that they're not sure about because they're beginners and getting ran over by these far more imposing specimen of males.
Yeah.
And so I get that. So I also get where, if you're smaller or a beginner and you get ran over by a guy on the magic shroomies, that could scare you. I
The
get that. I
shroom
completely
zoomies.
understand that. But 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 wild. That wild that someone's out there just going on trips on the ice. And he
Yeah,
was
that's
he
kinda
was out
so
there, but
the rink is actually investigating it? God, you
well,
really
I
do
don't
have small
know.
ear holes.
Yeah, yeah. Don't Hey, listen. The size doesn't matter. It's about the motion of the
Some
ocean or
ocean in
whatever.
the ocean,
Uh,
there it is.
and so it's how you use it. But the referee made a comment on the post. One of the referees, who's a cool guy, by the way,
Mm,
and someone made a joke
sounds like
about
a
it,
snitch.
and then the ref said, well, the rink has great cameras and they're taking this matter very seriously. And I
Block
was
'em
like,
from the
whoa.
group!
I was just like, whoa, whoa, like no one knows if those were even real or fake. And that's when he's like, well, the rink seems to think they were real. And I'm like, well, how would they know? Like they didn't get to see them because I saw them destroyed right before my
Yeah,
very eyes.
it's
You know how I
AI
know? Because
'cause you
I
ate 'em.
destroyed them. I destroyed them
Did you eat 'em?
with my hands. No,
Oh,
I'm risk adverse, and my family was with me, so I couldn't do crazy things.
you
But
could've well,
Jillian, when you're not pregnant, don't you think people would pay to watch us do shrooms like
there
one
is
time?
there is no world in which I will, at this point in my life, do a drug. But you know
Well,
how I wanna die
you
is a
won't even do
heroin
caffeine.
overdose at 96 years old.
Like you won't do caffeine. That's a drug or alcohol.
No, I'm clean. No, but
But don't you
there's
think? Okay,
no way I'll eat a shroom, a little mushy. I hate normal ones, so I'm not even putting that thing near this
yeah,
pie hole. Absolutely not.
I don't like eating regular shrooms either. But it would be funny to see what it would to document what it because I like listen. I've smoked the devil's lettuce before. Not
Mm,
not a lot, but I
mhm.
have partaken. I've done some edibles.
MJ.
Um, I've done some of that, but I've never done cocaine. I've never done any of the other stuff because like I said,
Yeah,
I'm risk adverse. But
right.
like just talking to people about mushrooms after this, like it seems like it's pretty low impact
No, I would be
for
the
the
one
most part.
person that's trembling in the corner, rocking back and forth, like, this is the kinda thing that happens to me. So, like I said, I will go out on a heroin my first heroin high at 98 years old, and I will live that dream, and I will say, "I'm out,"
You're
and it will be the
floating
best
away.
high of the world, but
But
before then
don't you think people would pay to watch us do it though?
they're gonna pay because I'm going to turn that little iPad around after this episode is done. I'm going to say, just going to ask you a couple questions here.
Would you be like my safe zone if I was like, okay, we're gonna do
Oh,
it on
yeah.
a podcast?
I'll
Okay.
get you like a little padded room somewhere. We'll
I
go
think I
somewhere
think
you can't hurt anybody.
I mean, but think about like all the crazy ideas I have right now. What kind of ideas could I have on shrooms?
What
And
if you went
I'm
boring?
not a drug. What if I went opposite? Yeah, I mean, that would be.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't that be crazy? Because you hear like the Beatles, like obviously you could tell in their music when they started doing a lot of drugs, right? You
Uh,
could just tell because they
yeah,
got
Lucy in
very
the Sky with Diamonds.
Lucy
Hello.
in the sky with diamonds.
Hello.
And so like we all live in a yellow
Yeah,
submarine,
honey.
and so like
Ooh-ha-ha.
they did that and they got like whatever they were inspired. And so I'm not
Yeah,
saying I want to do drugs, but if
I
someone's
think
going
you
to
are.
pay me to do mushrooms and I can see if it inspires me to that would be pretty cool, you know, pushing the
Okay, we
limits.
had to go where it's more legal. So maybe like a trip to Bali or something, and then you can smoke that toad venom.
Where no, I'm not doing that. Where would drugs be? Where would mushrooms be legal?
I think they're more legal in California because cops don't arrest you.
Where are mushrooms? I'm just googling it right now.
Legal.
More states may legalize psychedelic
Colorado's
mushroom.
gonna be
Ooh,
one of the top ones.
legal use of hallucinogenic mushrooms begins in Oregon,
Mm,
February 16.
that's my
Oh, that's
mom's
just country.
birthday.
Oh, nice.
So that's
So
where we're gonna
Oregon
go for her party.
to Oregon. Okay,
All right,
let's go.
Paula, we're going to Oregon, smoking some
Uh,
shrooms. I mean, eating them. We're munching
no,
shrooms.
I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where to get. Like, are they really just like shrooms that are growing? Listen, I'm not really into drugs. Like, don't think I'm, you know. But listen, I'm open. I'm open to the world as long as it isn't very high on the risk meter of hurting me
Okay.
or damaging me in any way.
Seems like it would be damaging. It feels like one of those things like how they told us that cigarettes were good for you in the like 40s
When
or whatever.
they've never told me that.
Yes, they did. They didn't text you personally.
But if someone texted me and said magic mushrooms are fine, I would be like, look, they texted
Hold on, I'll be
me.
right back.
But no, because you'll tell me they're bad, and I'll be like, oh, I can't do them. But no, someone did say that it would be funny to watch us do at the Oklahoma City draft. It would be funny to watch us do because we're goody two shoes.
That's
It'd be
gonna go
funny
on
to
your
watch us do
Patreon.
shrooms. Yeah, $25 subscriber, you get to watch me do magic
It's just the
mushrooms.
one guy in there and you.
He's just here, but he gets to feed them to me, so it's cool, you know.
Oh, the guy's with you in the room. I'm picturing this guy's watching the live stream. Okay, he's in
Well,
the room
whatever.
with you watching the live stream at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, okay,
Okay.
what's left over of this thing?
No, we got well, now that we covered drugs and
Yeah, but
oh,
my
we didn't
mood
even talk
lighting went
about
away.
our beer league drama.
Okay, beer league drama. Hey, but when we go off of this, we won't be able to hear you, and I think this thing is. Oh, it didn't even tell me how long it is. I think it's only like a minute or so.
Yeah, I
So
think it's like a minute.
you're not gonna be able to hear us. But here's this week's version of beer league drama. If you have a beer league drama, send it to us. We'll make sure that you are not identified. If you just want to write it, I'll
Yeah.
speak it and we'll put it in. And I like them. Whoa, 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 whoa. All
Yeah,
right, here we go.
Charlie Brown's teacher.
Beer league drama.
Dad came to watch my brother and me play, ages 47 and 51, on our beer league team. It was the first time we had ever played organized hockey together given our age gap. Good old Dad showed up to the 11 p.m. Wednesday night puck drop. He was cheering for us and enjoying seeing his adult kids play together. A wife of the goalie on the other team started shouting at him to shut up and you're cheering for the wrong team. He moved to another part of the rink to watch, and she followed him and was getting really rude. Anyhow, she was drunk. Her husband, the goalie for the other team, skated to her bench, apologized, and left the ice to get her away from my dad. Mid game, he just left the ice to deal with his wife. The league forfeited the game to us, and the guys on the other team all apologized. 6 weeks later, we were playing that same team. The guys told us that the goalie had quit, was getting divorced, and they were using a rental goalie for the rest of the season. I played a few more seasons, and we never saw that goalie again.
Sad. I don't know if I feel more bad for the goalie or the team that lost their goalie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like. I mean, I wonder if they were dealing with this kind of stuff repeatedly, or if it was
Couldn't have
just
been her
like a
first time.
one-off. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been.
I mean, imagine if I did that and Rob's like, "We're done." I do it one time.
Well, I mean, there had to be way more underlying issues for this woman to come out and chirp other people or chirp a dad watching
Yeah,
watching his
weird
kid
move.
play.
You're watching
Yeah,
a
that's
game and you choose the single audience member to
you're
start
like
something with.
you're like, hey, big guy, who are you rooting for? Fuck you, then, bud.
Yeah.
Let's fight. Let's do some shrooms together. So yeah, no, that's definitely a weird flex, and I wish I could know the other side of these beer league drama stories just to kind of see. Like, I wish I could hear Billy Funday's side. Um, uh,
True.
I did not have sexual relations with those girls.
Depends on
Uh,
what your definition of is.
what do you consider sex? Um, and so we were just doing magic mushrooms. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a weird flex, and that's a lot of drama. I feel sorry for the team that lost their goalie and had to pay a rental goalie. I feel sad for the guy that got divorced. Hope he still gets to
Yeah.
play hockey, and I feel bad for the dad that went to watch his kids and got accosted by a drunk woman in the
Yeah.
stands. But I've been accosted by people in the stands while we're playing. Like,
Oh, yeah.
had stuff thrown at us and yada yada yada. And I've also had a dad flip out on the ice and was a complete donkey to us. Got kicked out of the game, yada yada yada.
What?
And
You're
his
saying
son,
yada 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 on the most important parts.
no, he just got kicked off and went off and
What did he say?
we go after the game, and his kid has to come in and apologize for his kid was watching the game. And I was like, hey,
Oh,
sorry, my dad. Yeah. And so you're just like, oh, okay, but whatever, right? So there's some weird shit that happens in beer league hockey. Some
that's
weird
it.
shit. So,
And that's what I want to. That's the
but
other thing I'm going to start asking people is I want to know the untold lives of beer league wives. That's what
that
I'm going
would
to
be a
get.
good one.
I'm going to get that next.
But now listen. Um, it's not just wives. There could be beer league husbands. It's
The
2024. We don't want to get canceled.
untold Lartners of beer league partners.
Yeah,
There.
exactly. Lartners? Did you
Yeah.
say Lartners?
Yeah, because I was going to say lives, but then I had to rhyme it with partners.
Is Lartners even a?
It is now.
Oh, there's not even a word. Search instead for Lartners.
What
How to
rhymes?
ride your Lartner? My Lartner keeps telling me I'm getting big during. So people do use the word Lartner. Oh my
See?
god! What the fuck? Nicknames for
Never question
Lartners.
me again.
Nicknames for Lartners.
Lardy.
It doesn't tell me what a Lartner is. That's what the whole thing.
Okay, so
weird.
Lartner it is.
Whatever. All right, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, so we're probably gonna record next week on a Tuesday, or actually a Wednesday would probably be better, Wednesday night, because I'm gonna get home on Monday. I'm gonna drive to the Canadian border, pick up all our merch on Wednesday morning, and drive back. So next Wednesday night, I'll be back. I won't be in this seductive lighting that you see here. I won't have these
Boo.
pods here that hopefully the audio sounds okay. And Jillian, when are you due to have a baby?
10/7. But I'm kind of hoping that he comes on 10/4 so I can name him Roger. Get it?
Yo, I got it. It's kind of like I wanted to name my kid's middle name Nixon. So it'd be Cooper Nick's son.
Oh yeah, that would have been good. But you didn't.
Yeah, no, my wife wasn't having it. My wife was not having
Boo.
it. My very first girlfriend, our anniversary, like when I was in ninth grade, our anniversary, we started dating on 10/4. So
So I'll try to push him out for that day for you.
Shout out, Christy.
Do I have to name her? I have to name my kid Christy if it comes out on 10/4.
Or Chris.
Okay, I'll do Chris because that could be unisex.
Yeah, but isn't
What
it?
day is that? A Monday?
Did you say
Okay, so I can't record on that Monday.
Did you say you're having a boy? Did you say you're having a boy?
Yeah, it's a boy because he's going to be a hockey player. Remember? So now when I say I'm like 2/3 hockey guy, I'm like 2.5 thirds.
Can we name him Lardy? That's his nickname.
Lardy, but not like lard.
Yeah.
Then he's fat.
No, Lart T with a T.
Lart.
Lardy.
Paul Lart, hockey cop.
So is there anything else we need to discuss? Come play hockey with us. Columbus, Lake
Yeah,
Placid,
what's our upcoming stuff?
Hershey, Charleston. Yeah, so we're in Chicago. We have Charlotte on Labor Day, but that's a bash. We have Nashville in a couple weeks. I won't be at that one because I'll be at Disneyland. And then Labor Day, I said Charlotte, and then Columbus after that. And then the next weekend is Lake Placid, and the next weekend after that is
Pennsylvania?
Charleston, and the weekend after that is Hershey, Pennsylvania, and then the weekend after that is Minnesota. If we can get teams to
You
register for this
betcha!
dang thing,
Oh, that was just-
and then after that we go to Rome for 12 days for BLPA Worldwide, the first one ever.
Go to
And we come
Minnesota,
home
not
and
Rome.
we do Lake Tahoe, and then we're off for about a month, and then we do Vegas, and then we're off
Good
for about
lordy.
we're off for like 3 weeks, and then we start with
And then we
Philly.
go to
Shout out
China for Panda Express.
Philly. Yeah, if we do China, it's gonna have to be like next October, next October. But I'm also trying to go to Japan. That's one thing I did discuss. Let's just discuss this really quick.
Okay.
I want to know where people want to go because, like I said, we're going to Rome in October. We're going to Scandinavia in March. I got to plan one for like the last half of the year, the BLPA Worldwide, and I'm thinking about going back to Japan. I'm also thinking about Spain and Portugal, but I'm also thinking about the Czech Republic.
So wait, so you want to do mushrooms and see where that takes your brain? Because
yeah,
there's a
that's what
lot
I'm saying.
going
That's
on
wild.
right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's wild, right? Like, think if this is just my brain not on shrooms,
Yeah.
what would shrooms do? You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could tell you.
Well, you're gonna find out with me. JK
I will be in the
family,
grave.
JK family, JK family.
JK mom, JK da.
When she's 96. And
Yeah,
listen,
no, that's
I
heroin.
don't listen. I don't do. I do a drug every day to survive. It's called
Caffeine.
insulin and caffeine. So I guess I do 2 drugs every day. Probably a couple more because I have other stuff I have to take as I travel through my life journey with diabetes. But
Wait, you have diabetes?
yeah, type 1 since I was 17 years old.
Really? How did you find that out? Actually, I can discuss this later. I'm just curious.
No, I'll tell you how I found out. Everyone in my family is diabetic. My grandmother lost both her legs and passed away complication of diabetes. My mom had both of her legs amputated, and she passed away complication of diabetes.
Good
Thanks for
Lord.
bringing that up. And then I've just been diabetic. And so when I guess I was actually 18 because I was in high school or college playing baseball. And so I got really sick one day. So sick, infection started coming out of my ears and
That's
bubbling
ratch.
up. It was really weird. And I just started probably 6 months after that. I just started peeing myself, not my actual self. I had to pee so much.
Oh,
Like
okay.
one night my parents went to they went to a cruise, and one night while they were away, I woke up 8 times to pee, and then one time I peed the bed. And I was like, something's wrong. I got to go to the doctor. I got to figure it out. And they're like, oh, you just have a prostate infection. So I got my prostate checked 3 or 4 times.
Hey, and you only had to go back once, but you're like,
Great. Yeah. I was like, yeah, let's check. I think it's infected. Oh, I can feel that infection just bubbling up down in my plums.
are you sure it's not my prostate?
And then I said, listen, everyone in my family's diabetic. So let's just check it. And they checked it. And they're like, oh, wow, your blood sugar is extremely high. So they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to check your blood sugar. Then you're going to go eat, and you're going to come back in 2 hours. We're going to see where it is. I did that. And they're like, you're diabetic.
You're like, oh, that
And
was
so
bad.
what happened is they said, since all my family got it later in life, they said you were obviously predisposed to it. And when you got sick, it probably just made your pancreas say, hey, I'm going to be a scumbag and stop producing insulin. And so scumbag pancreases.
Wait, that stinks because I just had my gestational diabetes test and I was really scared about the potential of having diabetes for 2 months. So that's tough.
Well, try 30 years. Well, 25.
Yeah, that's
25 years. Try it. Just try it.
Try 10
Just
years.
fucking try it.
Don't tell me.
But anyway.
Okay,
so,
cool. Well, now that we talked about diabetes and mushrooms in the same time.
Let's risk adverse.
Yeah, I'm risk adverse.
All right. Anything else that you would like to add before we get out of here?
Send tips to Jillian Coconut on Venmo. I'll set up a GoFundMe. I need bark air, please.
No, see, listen, don't go fund Venmo me the tips. I'll make sure she gets her fair share.
Okay.
And no, listen, Jillian, Jillian doesn't need to fly with a dog. All right, because guess what? That dog has a full fucking body of hair over my head. All right,
Maybe I'll fly her to
that.
you and you can take some of her hair. She's blonde.
I need that go. I don't want blonde hair. I want brown hair like this, and I want luscious locks that just kind of cascade down.
You need some lechuga.
If we get it, I'll grow it out and I'll perm it in the back. I'll look good as fuck.
Rob is growing a mullet right now so that when the baby's born, he can be in pictures like delivering the baby like with a mullet.
Are you allowing him to do such?
I have tried to get him to do this for like 2 years.
Oh, you're in on it.
I'm in support of long hair. It's like a weird thing where I like longer hair. Like I think it's.
He should also grow a mustache. He should also grow a mustache.
Yeah, he's not proud of his whiskers. I also like whiskers.
In November, we'll have to grow mustaches. You too.
So then I won't
you're
pluck
in on
mine.
this too.
Oh, baby, it'll come in. Trust.
Yeah, we'll go that route for. We'll look like cops.
Good.
Which is cool. For a month, we'll look like cops. So, all right.
Okay, get me out of here. I keep talking.
Be good or be good at it.
Wee.
All right.